Okay, we're going to see skill practice in our workbook on page 129. I'm going to start modeling the first problem. Find each measure, the measure of arc XY. It's going to be this measure here. Well, we can see that the arc XY is subtended by the angle XZY. Angle XZY is 23 degrees and it's an interior angle. Remember that interior angles are half of the central angle. So if you imagine that maybe the center is here, this OX and OY is going to be the central angle, all right? So the measure of XY, this arc, is going to be always the measure of the central angle. And by other hand, the measure 23 of the interior inscribed angle is going to be half of this one. So if this one is 23, the central angle is going to be double, 46, this angle. And consequently, the arc XY is going to be 46 degrees. So my first answer is going to be 46 degrees. Let's go forward now to example number 5. And we have a picture of a circle here and find each measure. The first one is going to be the measure of angle N. Angle N is going to be this one, right? This is angle N, and it's an interior angle that subtends this arc here, meaning angle N can see this arc here. And we have another one that can see the same arc. It's going to be this angle here, angle M. Okay, what happens if two interior angles see or subtend the same arc? Well, these two angles, M and N, are going to be congruent. If M and N is going to be congruent or are congruent, then I'm going to equal the measure of N equal the measure of M. So the measure of N is going to be 3y plus 8 degrees equals the measure of N is going to be 6y minus 1. Then since these two are congruent, I make them congruent and I solve for y. I'm going to subtract negative 3y. I'm going to subtract 3y both sides. This is going to be, this simplifies. 8 is going to be 6 minus 3, 3y minus 1. Now what I'm going to do is add 1 both sides plus 1 both sides. I'm going to have as a result 9 equals 3y. I divide by 3, and y equals 3. And I'm not done yet because I have y, but I need to find out the measure of this one. So what I do with this y is plug it in here, in this here, in this angle here, the measure of the angle, and I'm going to have 3 times 3, the y I just found, plus 8. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 8, 17. So my angle N is going to be 17 degrees. 17 degrees. Similarly, I'm going to find the measure of angle L and the measure of angle P. These two interior angles subtend the same arc MN, make these two here. Meaning these two angles, L and P, they see the same angle. If they see the same angle, they are going to be congruent, these two. So what we do next is make this measure, 5x plus 9, equal this measure, 6x. Solve for x. When I have x, I plug it in here, and I have L, the measure of angle L, and the measure of angle